Awesome. Hello, Keen.
Hello, how's it going?
It's all right. Pretty hectic day, I guess, for both of us. But we are just a little bit late because Keen needed to get refreshments. So
Yeah,
he's gonna need the beer for having to deal with me for the next hour, hour and a half, almost 2 hours. But I'm glad to have Keen today. So the Evanstonks versus Chicago Stars is always a special occasion. The crosstown rivalry.
Wrestling classic. Yep.
And I thought no better time to get on a guest host, not from the Evanstonks, than right now, and no better than keenbart, who was highly recommended by many, many people.
Oh, they must have been messing with you.
No, no, no. People really like hearing your thoughts on the battles.
Okay.
Um, so basically the way this works, I don't know if you had an opportunity to watch a lot of them, but we pretty much go through them chronologically. And we're just gonna watch the battles. And I don't have anything else to say. I'm just waiting for people to trickle on in. But
Yeah.
what about, prior to this battle, how did you guys feel going into this? Did you guys feel like pretty excited, pretty pumped? Thought we were an easy win? Thought it was gonna be tough? Like, what was going through the minds on the Chicago Star side?
Yeah. Oh, no, definitely we don't come into Evanstonks week taking it lightly because our team, members on our team have battled members on your team so often in our local cups and in factions and in the Chicago remote cups that we typically do. Just so we are very familiar with how good everyone is. W- uh, you do have some new additions this cycle, so we are not as familiar with those folks. But yeah, I mean, we definitely come into this really wanting the win. We uh, yeah, we want to come out strong and do our best to increase our record in the Crosstown Classic. Um,
So before this bout, it was 2-1 in favor of the Stars, I believe.
I
Um,
think that's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of curiously, I think everybody this cycle made tons of moves, like picking up free agents left and right, losing people left and right. The Stars, like you noted, picked up a couple of people, had some promotions into starter positions. The Stars kind of had their team set, huh? Like a pretty welcome departure
We
from prior
did.
cycles, huh?
We had made some changes previously before the start of the season, but this cycle we just stayed where we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were really happy with a couple of our new members. We've got Haubunga and AJV and Uzo in Master League. Yeah, everyone's working really well together. Loving the team. So yeah, we're really happy with how everything's coming together.
Sounds good. Well, without any further ado, why don't we just hop straight into it? So, like I said, it's going to be chronological order. So, first up, we have Sorcerous Cup. So that's Leo fighting against Abi. I think they fought literally when
Oh,
the teams came out.
well,
So,
Avi went back to India,
yeah,
so his timing is a little odd. Yeah, and he's also battling in Worlds right now. So he's got a lot going on.
yep, yep. And so I guess just to kind of quickly break down the teams, on Leo's side, we have Frostlass, Dunsparce, Skuntank, Shadow Beedrill, Double, and Azu. Over on Abi's side, we see that Frostlass Mirror, Shadow Beedrill
Mhm.
Mirror, but then the and Double as well. But then the other three, a little spicier, we have Malamar, which I'm sure everyone knows by now how I feel about Malamar. Alolan Raichu, and Celio. So, I mean, just looking at these teams right now, who do you think has the edge?
Um, the Edge, I mean, that's Dunsparce looks really good because it can threaten so much of Avi's team. I mean, Dunsparce, I have not played with it personally, but I've seen in practice that it can be a little bit awkward because neither of its moves have stab, and like they both kind of hit disappointingly, not super hard, but it has amazing coverage here. So that's definitely going to be a threat. Um, and then, of course, in any meta with Frostlass, you have to know how you're going to handle Frostlass. So I think the matches are really going to revolve around who gets the most value out of those mons.
Definitely. Well, without any further ado, let's hop straight into it. I think this, like I said, this matchup has a long times. I want to scrub through really quick. Ooh, too quick, too quick. Still too quick. All right,
I'm also
so
interested to see
yeah,
the move sets on Double in particular because it can run. That's a new mon, but I know it can run Body Slam, Wild Charge, Payback.
yep. And so we're gonna see it in the leads. Shout out Beedrill into this double. Let's see how Leo responds to this. Leo's gonna stay in. Leo's gonna get some Uber Eats. Abi opts to swap out into that Frostlass, build up some energy here. This Frostlass, obviously very, very good safe swap. Leo does not have that Scum Tank to counter swap, so he's kind of stuck staying in and throwing a move at least. Swaps out to this Azu. So how do you like this Azu versus Frostlass matchup right now?
Yeah, well, I think it's a good play to get that shield with the drill run because the Shadow Beedrill, like the Frostlass, still really has to respect that, even if you would think that with the resisted poison jabs, you're kind of safe to let something through. But yeah, you got to respect that. So I really like grabbing the shield before swapping out to a chunky mon.
So Abi meant to switch ASAP, but the game didn't let him. So Abi kind of adjusting on the fly there. Yeah, he was behind the B. So suffering from maybe that Indian connection. Windy wants me to do my Powder Snow impression. So I can actually do that because he redeemed 100 Sage Bucks. But it's like, I think that's what she does, right? Like this little.
Oh yeah, the little Frostlass
Yeah,
giggle.
yeah. I'll double check and make sure my priors are correct in the next Frostlass battle, which I'm sure will come up because Frostlass is literally everywhere. But yeah, getting this Hydro Pump off and hitting the double for good damage. So let's see what Abi has for double moves. I guess you would know, or maybe you would remember.
Right, good timing there. He might have a wild. I mean, the only way he's going to KO here is with a wild charge.
Which is
So
what he does. Gets
okay.
that KO.
No, he's probably going to want to. Oh,
Little delay. Swaps out into Celio. Leo ends up going with Body Slam Payback. I guess the payback is good for the Frostlass and
yeah, I
H2.
think it can win. I didn't look this up myself, but I think it can beat Frostlass straight payback in the one, if I remember right.
Gotcha.
Which is pretty impressive.
Yeah. And double, another, I guess, new addition to this. Oh, this Celio's on Watered Gun. So what was your thought process behind that? Was that the Abi special, or did you guys converge on that solution?
I think that was an Abi special, and my guess is that it's to better handle Frostlass. He must have been concerned about Frostlass.
Makes sense.
Especially considering Malamar doesn't look amazing here.
Yeah.
So I think he needed something to take care of that.
Yeah.
And
So
even Malamar against Frostlass is disappointing.
Yep. So Leo takes down that first game pretty handedly. I did not quite get a chance to see what's in game 2, but Leo's leading game 2, double Azu, Frostlass, trying to mix things up just a little bit. Let's see how Abi kind of counteracts that. But Stonks get on the board early. So I don't know if you know this, Keen, but Stonks have been very poor at starting off bouts strongly. We always get 1-2'd. Usually wins in game 3. So this is feeling good for us right now. We lead this double into Frostlass.
Okay, this is a good situation for you to be in. My guess is Abi has brought H2 back this time, seeing the Azu. I'm guessing that he didn't expect the Azu quite as much that time.
Yeah. Avalanche dealing pretty big damage here. You said double wins the one shield. Straight payback.
I'll have to double check on that, but I'm pretty sure it does.
Okay. Well, we're not going to find out here. And ooh, there's that Raichu, like you said.
Yeah. Still a tricky situation because he's going to have to respect this Hydro Pump.
Yeah, Leo just goes straight for the Hydro Pump. Let's see.
Yeah, now Abi's he's going to have to make the call on this. Maybe going 2 shields down to
ends up does indeed. Yeah.
Yep. We'll see if that. I mean, that's a dangerous situation, but he's got to respect that Hydro Pump.
Definitely. But on the flip side, now this Raichu can pretty much do what it wants with impunity. Ops is just Thunder Punch here. Get pretty good farm, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great situation to be in.
Super loaded. Leo opts to swap straight into this double. Trying to get to that body stand before this Raichu gets to throw again. But I mean, the Raichu still has another move banked. So, yep.
Right, but he's got to get through 2 shields here. Oh, man. Can he do it? It's definitely going to be baiting. Although he doesn't really have to, and because I don't think he's going to get Powder Snow down either way.
Exactly.
He could go for kind of a surprise wild charge here, although Leo's going to respect it.
Yep. I mean, the flip side is Abby still has all 3 of his mons in the back, so this Frostlass is going to have to go far. Opts for the catch.
Frostlass in the back. Yeah.
Opts to try to catch that Avalanche. Leo might have gotten a return there, but gets to get that off. And then the double in the back. All right, this is going to be rough, especially if this double is on payback. Even wild charge here is good enough. Payback. All right.
It is on payback, and that'll do it.
That's it. Yeah. So 3 mons, a little bit too much for Leo to overcome, but they even up the match, 1-1.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think Abby just used shields. Like, he got a lot of value out of his shields in that match, even though he went down 0-2.
Definitely. Yeah, and so, I mean, I don't have too much experience scrimming in Sorcerous. I played Sorcerous back when it was actually... Zokin, very timely asked if I want the Ultra League battles. They're unstreamable. We're gonna rock and roll without them. It's a little bit tricky to on the fly add videos. I'm sure he asked that in jest, but what was I saying? Yeah, like so just scrimming. Like there's definitely some value in just going down 2 shields, but having something that's completely loaded up and you just get to like unleash charge moves with impunity, which is what we saw that HU do there, right?
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of hard-hitting charge moves here.
Definitely. Alrighty. Well, let's just go to game 3.
All right.
Leo leads Skuntank into Frostlass. So in previous games, we've gotten wrecked and wrecked people with Bite Skuntank. Let's see what Leo is running here. It is also Bite as well.
Yeah, I can confirm that Abby was not expecting the Bite Skuntank.
Yeah.
So, okay, so he's gonna. Now I'm really curious why. Can I remember this? This was a no shield. If you had shielded that, this would have turned out very differently, I think.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. So. Yamlet's wondering if we're running Bite Dunsparce. Not quite. Let's see how the rest of this game plays out. So we get that debuff, but we end up losing it. I guess Leo is gonna have to use a shield here if he's gonna commit to this farm down. He's gonna shield here, yeah. So Keen, sorry, what were you saying about using that shield on the Skuntank?
Well, I would think that with all that fast move damage, you'd want to preserve the. And that was interesting. I think he was close to another move there and got double kicked down. I would think that you want to preserve the health on that Skuntank, and it was worth investing a shield in it with all of its fast move pressure on the Frostlass.
I think maybe Leo just thought it did its work and, is opting to save the shields on these normal type mons. We'll see if that pays out for Leo.
Even like the Dunsparce, even with the rollout or whatever it is, the non-stab low attack power rollout, it has like so little fast move pressure. So this Frostlass doing so much work.
Yeah. Now we get to see the versatility of Dunsparce here, getting to throw this drill run on this HU. Of course, gets a shield back. Yeah, so Windy kind of offers some insights on maybe on Leo's side. Maybe Leo thought, Abby staying in with last could have been read as being weak to Skunk in the back, which adds credence to the fact that maybe you want to preserve the Skuntank. But, of course, a lot of these things we're kind of saying in retrospect, and it's a little bit hard to gauge what's the right play when you have 5 seconds to make a decision.
Right.
So definitely not pooping on Leo here, but tricky situation to be in. So Leo opts to go for this payback, tries to undercharge a little bit, doesn't quite get there, but this is just a little bit too much room.
Is a super risky play.
What's that?
Yeah. Well, it's just a super risky play to let that through, but I think it was the right call here, knowing that the double doesn't have enough fast move pressure on Frostlass.
Yeah, and so I guess
That-
what you mentioned there, Keen, kind of came to bear, right? Like between the Dunsparce and the double, the fast move pressure not really lacking a little bit there, and that allows that Frostlass to
right.
just get there.
Right. So yeah, I think you needed to put a little more fast move pressure on the Frostlass with bite,
Hmm.
knowing that you had very little fast move pressure in the back against it.
Definitely. So early 1-2, as like I told you at the beginning of the stream, Keen. The Evanstonks doing really good at starting off with 1 and 2s. We'll see if that changes as we go to Master League. So you mentioned that Uzo was your new Master League specialist. So we get Chapel.
Yeah.
Chapel.
Oh, yep. Yeah, Chapo's in. He's in this week. We've been making it tough on him. He's been so good in Master League, but we also know he's really good in other places too. So we've been moving him around. He's kind of our wild card.
Yes.
But it's hard. It's hard to do that in metas where you're not super familiar and be moving around. So he's got the toughest job on the team right now.
Yep, sure. Hey, Felicia. Thanks for tuning in. So just kind of break down, Keen, I know you are a Master League stud with all the Mons in place, so I'm just going to
Oh
read off the Mons, and,
yeah.
you can give me the breakdown afterwards. But on Adam's side, Adam's running Zacian, Dialga, Lugia as his 3 restricted picks, followed by Excadrill, Gyarados, and Garchomp. Adam and I were working on this team a little bit, and we were just kind of like, Shapple's too hard to game plan against, so we just kind of threw something out there. Uzo is in chat, but not on this screen right now. Decided to take a week off. On Shapple's side, Shapple has Mewtwo, Zacian, Dialga, Excadrill, Dragonite, and Genesect. So pretty much when it comes to unrestricted picks, everyone's bringing Excadrill. I think that's like one of the more common picks. And
Mhm.
then we see this Zacian, Dialga, Mirror, and on one side, Lugia versus Mewtwo. Aside from that, it's kind of, I think I looked at the PB Poke scores and it didn't look too good for Adam, but I think there's play on both sides. Definitely a lot of flexibility involved. One thing I will note is I really hate Zacian, not because of how it plays, but because, as you can see on the screen here, it has 4 lines for its name, and that really screws with my my cropping on everything. So I really hate Zacian for that one reason alone. But let's
Sorry.
see what we got going on. Hey, Just Josh. Yeah, Adam's just about to play, and I'm sure Keen will give us excellent ML insights.
Yeah, I have literally 0 Mons powered up to level 50,
Really?
so,
Not even like a Diggersby or something like that?
nope, my
Ah.
Diggersby is lower than that.
All right, let's see this. Zash
It's
and
Mirror.
Mirror, always tricky to play into. Let's see how each person plays it. Okay, we get a little lucky here. Swaps out to
She's
Mewtwo.
going right out.
What's that?
Yeah, Chapo going right out of the Mirror is interesting.
Yeah. The Mirror is kind of complicated to play. We are a little bit annoyingly Shadow Ball here on the Mewtwo from the Mewtwo. We are a little bit soft too. I mean, like both Mons can do quite a bit of damage. Oh my goodness, we have an Emzo in chat.
Wow, that's a rare
Keen,
sighting.
have you seen Emzo?
He pops in every once in a blue moon.
He's your team owner.
He's like an absentee landlord.
Basically. All right, we got a lot of Adam fans in chat right now. We got a Burnibus. Can I mute Burnibus? I don't want to ban him. How do I? Ooh, I banned him by accident. Crap. Crap.
This is
Crap.
really good
Crap. All right, I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna
here.
need you to keep focusing on this thing while I unban Burno. I don't know how to unban him. Oh my god.
Mewtwo the side strike here. Yeah, the snarl down of Mewtwo can lead to some
Yeah.
really pretty crazy sensorization.
Yep, you really want that extra energy. Some people have been playing quick attack. Crap, I need to unban Burno before he hates me for life. This is awful. I'm so sorry, Burno. I know not of what I've done. All right, runs into Dialga. Nice catch by Chapo, catching. Burno says, "Keep me banned." Oh god, I feel so bad. I misclicked, Burno.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's just runs into the Excadrill in the back, and that's probably RPG games.
Yeah. Yep. So this extra girl's gonna do good work. Do you know how to unban people, Keen?
I have no clue.
Keen, I feel awful. I banned poor Burno. Burno, of course, is the captain of the Chicago Stars. There's lag going on here, but oh my god, I just banned that man. That man has been through so much. He doesn't need to get banned from my streams. Um, there are people hashtag justice for Burno, free Burno. I should probably respond to chat while I'm trying to. One of my mods should be able to do it. Who's a mod? Wait, Luke's a mod. Luke, unban Burno, please. All right, Zacian does close combat, kills this extra drill. We're up a shield. They're basically down to nothing. And that should do it. Dang it, work? Hang on. Luke is on it. All right, sorry about that, you guys. That was a little bit chaotic, but Adam actually ends up taking down that match in something while I was watching, trying to figure out how to unban Birdo. But yeah, we saw that extra drill into Dialga pretty much seal the deal for Adam there, like you mentioned. So Keen, indeed, with the great Master League analysis.
Yeah, I know that a ground type typically beats a steel
okay.
type.
So to be fair, that
is the Draco meteor, right?
Exactly. Draco Meteor will do about like 70%. So like I've won my fair share of games. Like back when I played Pogo, I beat someone in Emerald, Draco metering their Excadrill. So there are definitely win conditions. It's just in general, it definitely is a hard wall to that Dialga, and you don't want to see it because the Excadrill, like up even shields, can definitely do whatever it wants, get as much energy as it wants before throwing and killing. So we'll see how Shapo adjusts in game 2.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if the Genesect comes. Yeah, I mean, that Mewtwo's doing really good work.
Yeah, Mewtwo's always a dangerous safe swap.
Yeah.
We'll see what. So we get the Zacian lead into Mewtwo this time.
Okay. I think Mewtwo is probably happy about this.
And as you can see, instant swap out into the extra drill. So Shapo returning the favor here. Yeah, so Mewtwo is definitely very favored into Zacian. Of course, you can accidentally eat a wild charge or something like that, depending on energy. So Zacian really plays well when you're slightly up energy. You see Adam here just tapping on that Draco Meteor, just knows this Dialga is not long for this world, so you might as well get going. I'm sure Shapo will adjust accordingly and get a little bit more farm on this just fine. Does have to invest a shield into that, but no problem. The other nice thing about Excadrill, Keen, is that in Master League, it's a lot of the damage really does come from charge moves. So depending on how fast you can control charge moves, that's going to be really important. And Excadrill is one of those mons that gets 10-turn charge moves. So you can see here, going to be throwing Drill Run 1, probably Drill Run 2 coming up. There we go. And so really being able to churn out those fast or those charge moves is very key. Same thing with Mewtwo. Mewtwo getting 10 turns into their side strikes. Really, really important in Master League. Adam opts to farm up a little bit on this Garchomp before throwing Earth Power. We see the Garchomp on Mudshot double nuke set, which is not super common. I think the idea here was to get a little bit more game against Zacian. You're still sort of a dog, but we see that matchup right now. But now at least he gets Earth Power instead of just doing absolutely nothing to it. So Adam over here tossing another Earth Power, does about 50%. And then the Zacian comes in, trying to catch, but now Shapo is up a lot of energy. Let's see what Shapo throws here. Just throws a wild charge number 1, doesn't quite do enough. So this is kind of awkward if you're on Adam's side because you're just going to have to eat this move. You can't exactly farm down because Snarl doesn't do a lot of damage. doesn't do a lot of damage in
Mm.
Great League, really doesn't do a lot of damage in Master League. You see Adam go up to 100 energy there. Again, another awkward part about Snarl. 7 gets you to 91 energy, 8 gets you to more than 100. And so you can't really stock up on too much more.
Right. I don't know
Yeah,
what you can do here, though, with so little health on the station.
exactly. Zacian's down, and then this Garchomp is going to go down shortly thereafter. Um, and again, this is kind of where that entire concept of 10 turn charge moves really being very oppressive, especially when you're not in a two shield situation. Adam's gonna try his darn best to make a fight out of it, but these Earth powers are not gonna come out as quickly enough, and I'm pretty sure Chapo already has 2 Psy Strikes. Yeah, there we go. And so Chapo evens up the games by doing the very same thing that Adam did in game 1. And I think I saw somewhere in chat someone asking who Adam was. So Adam is one of our new recruits playing Master League for the Stonks after Prof Slade's retirement. Hopefully Prof is in a better place now. He is. That makes it sound really morbid, but he's spending more time with his family. So
Okay.
hats off to him. And he'll like come in every once in a while into Stonk's chat and post the meme, and then leave. So yeah. So game 3, I see Adam. He didn't die, for the record. Yes, correct. Thank you for that clarification, Digo. I really needed that. He's spending time with his family, is what I'm saying. So we have Dialga leading into Mewtwo, so favorable for Adam.
Yeah, I think Chapo's thinking that, that last line that he ran is really flexible and, maybe trying it again. But there's always the risk of running into the Dialga, but just not where you want to see the Mewtwo.
Yeah. Mewtwo is Shadow Ball. We already knew that. Here's this Excadrill. Swaps out to this Garchomp. And so this is going to be very nice, especially up even shields. And so this is where we start seeing the downfalls of the little mole come into play. So Excadrill has a lot of things going for it. Its typing is great. It's a hard counter Dialga. It does not have the highest stat product. And you can see that at the top corners right there, where Excadrill has a CP of 1336, or 3667, 3667. Garchomp has comfortably 700 more CP on that, and just a stat stick. And so while Garchomp has a lot of issues, what it doesn't have an issue is its stats, whereas Excadrill does not have the best stats. And Chapo opts to let it go. Chapo
lets it go there.
Yeah.
I wonder if it would have made sense to hold on to that.
Yeah, and I think Chapo is just thinking he wants to keep a shield, especially if he's suspecting there's going to be a Zacian showdown at the end. Adam also opting to let this go instead of trying to keep a move there. But this time he gets a Dialga to come in and try to clean up this Mewtwo. Not going to play too fancy with that. Just going to go straight for that Iron Head. And let's see what happens here. Chapo's going to opt the shield. Ends up using the shield there. Let's see what Adam does here. This is a little bit awkward of a range to farm for Zacian, but it looks like Adam's going to go for this farm down. Runs into a Zacian.
No. Chapo goes right up. Okay, now this is a tough situation because he's down,
He's down a shield.
Chapo's down a shield. So it's a weird situation. They're going to keep snarling because no one wants to throw the first wild charge.
Correct.
But
Very
at some point, Chapo's going to have to throw because he's going to get into 2 wild charge range.
Correct. And so you probably don't shield this first one, and then you shield the next one after you start throwing a whole bunch. Yep. So Adam immediately starts smashing that like and subscribe button, like everyone should do out there. But also smashing that wild charge. Almost gets it dead. Gonna have to shield this one, obviously. So the real question is, are you gonna go for that Star down?
Yeah.
So it's 10 energy on the Zacian remaining.
I think he kind of has to, right? Oh, well,
It's
if he gets close enough to the second wild charge, then it's
yeah.
fine. The Mewtwo doesn't
So
have a
so
charge move.
Adam says, I'm not gonna risk that one too much. But yeah, he
Yeah,
does get to that wall charge just in the nick of time. I think it takes 3 more snarls from that position. That's 39 energy plus the 10 residual. Gets you to 49, which is just enough for wild charge. So Adam had one more snarl to play with there, but decides to display it safe and ends up taking down the match, which is really nice. We start even things up, 3-all. And that is Adam's first Master League win, which is really really nice. He kind of got thrown into the deep end, as really acquitted himself well against one of the best Master League players, like point blank in my opinion.
yeah, Chapo knows his stuff.
Yeah. All right, hopping on over to yeah, Adam, good job, dude. Hopping on over to Primeval. So we have yours truly, I'm not even gonna try. Lukey. I call him Luke. Going up
Nuki.
against Teddy Bear XD, which is another new recruit of ours, but I think one that you probably know pretty well, Keen, just from your Silph battles.
Yeah, yeah, I've gone up against him plenty of times. Yeah,
Yeah. And so kind of a coup in my opinion of in terms of recruiting. Also
yeah, yeah.
in
Great
Indiana.
battler.
Yeah.
You guys did a really great job of recruiting.
Definitely. And so we're playing Primeval here, which is a very tricky cup. A lot of very fine game management decisions.
This is what I've been playing. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's tricky. It is a very condensed meta.
Mhm.
Um, it's really centered around Dragonair, Dragonair's counters, Grey Dilly, and like uh some combination of like a second ice, Tapu, Sudowoodo, Snorlax. I've been a big fan of recently, for its bulk, especially if you happen to not run into a Sudowoodo, but there is two Sudowoodos on this team. Very similar looking teams here.
Yeah, in fact, I
Yeah,
think
I'm really interested to see how this plays out.
yeah, I think the only difference that I'm seeing is the Celio for a Tapu Fini, I think.
Yeah, is
Yeah.
the second Dragon answer because Frostlass is like not super safe. Frostlass against Dragonair, especially if the Frostlass is behind, the Dragonair is going to beat it to charge moves and, can, really put a lot of pressure on it.
Definitely. Well, this time you are actually the expert in Primeval, so I'm gonna let you take it away. Let's see what happens here. Patetti goes
Right.
into to Luke. Luke is a avid fan of One Piece, hence the One Piece hat. Luke says he was worried about this being a water gun seal, but we lead Dragonair Mirror.
Mirror, I never know what to do in this scenario. I guess it depends what's in the back line.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see who wins CMP. Maybe we'll get a catch on a Frostlass or something.
I was gonna say Luke
Um,
probably wins CMP because his IVs are usually crap and this one's shiny, so
yes, yes.
you
He's
do
gonna let it
survive
through its
this.
quite kill.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting scenario because like this is great farm for like a Frostlass, for example. This little bit of Dragonair farm. Okay. The poor IVs lose it, but if Luke has a Frostlass in the back, I
It's
was
a
gonna
Sudowoodo.
oh Sudowoodo, okay. That's another mon that functions really well with
Yeah.
energy in this cup.
All right. I need
Um,
Luke, we're watching Teddy's point of view. You won CMP. This is a stonk stream, not a stars stream. Hey, Knife, thanks for tuning in, man.
all right, so we got this Rock Slide coming through, not going to KO. This Cradilly is probably going to reach a second charge move. There's a lot of shield pressure on this pseudo.
Definitely.
Interesting choice to make here. Okay,
Ooh.
coming in with the Celio,
Oh my
that's
goodness.
interesting.
That's a very
That's
interesting play here. I think recognizing that maybe this Cradily needs to survive a little bit for the backline. I'm not quite sure what Teddy is thinking
yeah, that
here.
makes sense. That makes sense. If you're reading Tapu in the back, maybe you feel like he needs to pull that out and
Yeah.
fire off some grass knots. And this is a pretty good matchup, the Celio versus Tapu Fini.
Mhm. Yeah, and I
Um,
see Luke here also swapping
especially
into.
with 2 shields, being able to shield those moon blasts if you need
Yeah,
to.
is Teddy gonna call this though? Oh, he's you see his like finger on the shield, ends up pulling the trigger. It's a
Oh
serve.
yeah, that's a good bait,
Oh
that's a good bait.
man. But I mean here I think like Luke also had the pretty heads up play of recognizing the second that the Celio came in that Tapu Fini really had nowhere to go and just opted to bring it in
Mhm.
and chip down the Celio. So kind of
Yep.
like very interesting that you swap into something quote unquote bad, and then you see the response from the opponent to just swap into
Yeah.
something bad too. But
Okay, this is
pretty
gonna be interesting
yeah,
because you're close to another charge move on the so oh, this
the
do you
Cradily.
need to do this bait? Is this gonna
Does Luke call it? Luke.
ooh,
Oh.
is that necessary though? I don't think it was really necessary. I think you could have just forced the shield.
Well, here
Uh,
the I think the issue is that the Cradle is not quite there yet.
right, I guess
So
if it was
you
right,
needed that energy off
so
the pseudo. So you actually did need that.
yes. Yeah, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, because
Yeah,
you don't wanna let the pseudo farm, shield the
exactly.
water pulse and then farm up.
Exactly. And we
Yeah.
survive 1 HP in a dream on this Cradily.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a
so
good call.
I think that was actually needed.
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of crazy though. But Teddy draws first blood. Let's see if Luke is going to be able to respond. Um, so Teddy for game 2 opts to go for. Let's see if he ends up making a pick here, but
This is a
swapping some orders around. Maybe leading a Celio this time. Tipping his hand on the Celio being Powder Snow instead of Water Gun, like Luke was deathly terrified of. Yeah, just opting to go with the same 3 and locking
yeah,
that
just
in.
a grab. So what don't you want? You don't want to see a pseudo in the lead, but you could go into a frost lass.
Frostlass is probably not the best, but it's fine. You're on Water Pulse, which makes this a lot more
Yeah.
palatable.
Yeah. Yeah, and that Celios is tanky enough that you can take a shadow ball easy.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm gonna scrub a little bit. Let's see where we get going.
yeah, but a frost lass on Luke's side would definitely be dangerous here. Well,
Cradily would be.
I'm surprised that that didn't come last time.
Yeah, let's see what we get. Seal and a Dragonair, so that's
Frost
pretty
lass
good.
is really good. Yeah, this is a good lead for you guys.
Luke opts
Um,
to do
this is
one.
the use case for
Okay,
okay, so this is probably fine for the frost lass. Those what two counters maybe before the swap went in.
looks like
I
it.
was,
Yeah.
but that should be plenty of time because it's 767 to
Yep.
moves for pseudo and 665 for frost lass. So frost lass should outpace. Oh, going for the shadow. Okay, interesting. Um, I feel like it depends how many shields you want to commit. I think
Mm-hmm.
if that's the right play or not, because I think you could go straight avalanche if you're willing to commit
2 shields,
two.
which he is committing 2 shields here, so very interesting. So now maybe Teddy just says, if I can land this Shadow Ball and clean it up now, that's fine. Otherwise, I'll do 2 avalanches once it's
I'm thinking this
whittled
next
down a
one
little bit.
is
To get
CMP.
there, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it had enough leeway with the on the switch, I guess, to get in that
Yeah.
shadow ball.
767 versus 665, or I guess like 765.
Yeah, yeah. So you have a leeway of like 3 moves if you go straight
Going for this
avalanche. So yeah,
Dragonair.
you can try shadow ball once, I suppose.
Mhm. And if you would want to throw Shadow Ball, it's obviously on the first one to get it cleaned up. So we get this Avalanche, unshielded, kills, and
Ooh,
now, ooh, Frostlass
oh,
coming
yeah,
in.
okay, that's a good swap. Don't let it get farmed down all the way.
Yeah. This isn't the matchup that we have in play here, but how does Critically play into Frostlass with no shields?
Oh, Cradle is pretty not good against Frostlass unless it has some energy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think an Avalanche should kill. I think a Stone Edge also gets close enough though.
Yeah.
Um, but Frostlass is going to outpace.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So Luke trying his best to make this a game. 1 Mon versus 3. Bernal says it's about equal.
Oof.
Luke finally has to pull the trigger here.
Yeah. Ooh, how's this gonna go? This is
Avalanche.
really
Is
close.
down.
Oh,
Oh, Luke
to
goes
get
for.
a little. Oh.
Oh, Luke went for that undercharge. He needed to go for the undercharge just to have things ready for the 2 Mon in the back, but that does not quite get there. And Teddy
Yeah,
takes
I'm
down
trying to
game
remind
2.
myself.
Oh, that was a full charge. Oh, I guess Arcelius is a
Yeah,
little
it's double,
fat.
double
Fatty
resist.
McFat, huh?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Um. Oh, Avalanche. Okay, Avalanche would not be enough on Cradilly. Avalanche only does 70%.
Gotcha.
Stone Edge does 90.
Luke says he
So
has a whole pile of energy.
yeah, Frostlass actually, it depends. It's going to depend on IVs, but it could lose that 0. I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Frostlass might not be quite enough to kill after Powder Snow. So in this scenario, yeah, I don't think Luke really had a chance here because his Frostlass was too low. He would have gotten bullet seeded down.
Mm-hmm. So Teddy once again running the same 3. I believe in the same order as game 1. Thinking about it, thinking about whether he wants to lock in, locks in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good 3.
But
That Celio mostly fears the pseudo.
Yep, and we see a reprisal of the first game. This time we swap out. Teddy's a bit slow to swap. No, Teddy's just opting to stay in. Interesting.
Yeah, and this isn't terrible. Okay, you're gonna go up to move and then get out. I like that. I like that.
Try
Take
to
these shit.
maybe catch
Yeah.
Avalanche, maybe. All right, has to shield here. Knows it's a shadow ball. So the nice thing about this is now this water pulse is very, very threatening. Let's see. Boom. Gets this Frostlass out.
Yeah.
Luke gets the bank a shield. Comes in with a Sudowoodo. Very nice.
Yeah, this is a good situation to be in for Luke. Gotta have a gutsy bait here.
Yeah, I think Teddy's just. Oh, and Luke eats it up.
It's a shield. Yeah. He's been baiting really well.
Yeah. So according to Burno, Zero Shield Cradily versus Frost is IV dependent. Standard PV pokes IVs let Cradily win with 1 HP, but it sounds like the Avalanche does not get you there, so you need a little bit more.
That seems right.
Coming in with a fresh Cradily.
I think Luke should have farmed up more there.
Yeah, Luke is the opposite of a masturbator. He is a not masturbator, or he eats lots of bait moves. Earthquake, boom.
Oh, that's it. Okay, I like that play.
Swaps into Dragonair mirror.
Mop.
Down a shield. Teddy's gonna try to make it this a game, but Luke just gonna eat that body slam.
Is it gonna reach it for? Okay, yeah. Good throw by Luke there.
I don't know if that was timing or if that counts or if that's just vibes. I think they were just vibes. But Luke is gonna look to deal as much damage as possible from this Dragonair. Been playing quite a bit of Dragonair in Evolution Cup, and it is an interesting mod.
Yeah. I love Dragonair. Yeah. Okay.
She's a little bit too squishy for my taste, but I mean, obviously, still quite good. Quite good.
Dragonair is, especially with Body Slam, I think is amazing. Okay, so I should reach this move just in time. All right.
Very nicely played by Luke.
Really close matches, as many of these Primeval matches are.
Yeah, and so we end up. I think this is also this might be Teddy's first bout or a match win. So congrats to our new recruits, and the Stonks are slightly ahead of the Chicago Stars, 5-4. Hopping into Ultra League. This one is gonna be, Luke says he's torn between being meh and really liking the meta. So it's kind of what it sounds like a lot of Primeval people are at right now. It's like it's pretty good play sometimes, and other times it's just kind of.
It's not terrible. It's not my favorite. I've really liked a bunch of the other factions metas. like Cave was really good, and what was the most recent one I
You
played
liked
in?
Colony or Alchemy?
Alchemy. I was playing in Alchemy. I really liked Alchemy. Um, Colony also seemed pretty good too, but like really like ruthless with timing charge moves and everything, like really squishy mons.
Luke says, bring
Um,
back pick 8 ban 2. Ain't nobody got time for that.
oh, Luke is so good at that.
Yeah.
If that comes back, I'm subbing myself out. I selected that.
It's a little bit mind warping. I think I played that once in Continentals and I was like, not for me, not for me. All right, so next up we have Celestial. So the first time that Ultra League has had a field of sorts. I'm gonna warn you in advance. The first two videos are very, very cruddy, um, but we'll kind of take it. And then I will also warn you that the last game is very exciting. But we'll just kind of take it from there. So Warner going up against
But
Zokin. Warner rocking Shadow Drape, Shadow Dragon Knight, Cresselia, Samurott, Greedent, Regirock, and Zokin saying Game 3 was definitely his favorite. Zokin running Cresselia, Regirock, Greedent, Drapion, Dragalge, and Samurott. So Samurott, Cresselia, Regirock, Greedent, Drapion. 5 out of the 6 same. 1 Shadow, 1 not. Berno is yelling at me. Maybe I should ban him again. Sorry, I'm going to yell at them right now. And the one difference here is Dragalge versus Shadow Dragonite. So we'll see how that plays out. But without further ado, we're going to go into some really gnarly videos. We lead Regirock into Samurott. Instant swap out into Cresselia. So Cresselia rocking that grass knot that is ubiquitous everywhere. Zokin hops back in with his Cresselia, and I don't know how much Ultra League you play, Keen. Do you play any Ultra League?
I don't. I am Great League only, and
Okay.
specifically field metas only.
Okay. That is
No
indeed
open
my.
leagues, no ultra, no master. I'm
Hey,
very special.
TFOS 11. Thanks for the follow. I guess I did not switch back to them. You told me where to find them hours ago. Okay, I don't have the bandwidth to figure out what the stonks or the stars are trying to troll me about. I'm just gonna watch these beautiful battles. Um,
These nice shiny Cresselia.
all right, I think I'm getting a Maki request, so give me a second. Please keep casting the Ultra League battles that you know so well.
Well, there's a shiny Cresselia and a non-shiny Cresselia, and the shiny Cresselia seems to have a little bit more health.
No, that's pretty. That is pretty
This
much how.
is.
That's how this goes, dude. Cresselia mirrors are.
It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more interesting than Amanda Musmere.
Well, is Maki more
I'll
interesting?
give it that.
Ooh, eats a mega horn. Maki, what do you think about that? He wasn't a fan of that. But we lead our Greedent back into the Samurott. Greedent getting a little bit of super effective damage with those bullet seeds. Not doing too much, but adds up. Body slams onto the Samurott. Samurott has been I think a star in this limited field. Relatively easily accessible. And definitely very, very good with those very fast hydro cannons coming out every, I believe, 5 seconds. So
Yeah, it really, I think even in Great League metas, I guess it was Colony last cycle. I think it took a little time for people to realize just how good Samurott is, because in a lot of open formats, it's overshadowed by things like Swampert. But
so
yeah, it's really good.
just wanted to point out a little heads up play by Warner there. Warner opts to swap out onto the Regirock, trying to farm down that Samurott. Zokin is a little bit too keen on that little ploy there and instantly swaps back into Cresselia, making this farm down way less appealing. I think, yeah, we have the shield here, Grass Knots from Cresselia really adding up, being extremely good into Regirock and gives it some answers against Samurott there. But here, you can see the problem here with a charged up Samurott. You know, like you're just basically, or sorry, a charged up Cresselia. You just basically need to shield these grass knots that aren't doing a lot, but deal quite just enough for you to have to shield. Maki is jumping off of me. And we see a Stone Edge coming from Warner. I think Warner's gonna get, nope, just gonna let it go. And what's in the back? 2 Mons. One of them's the Samurott that got swapped out, nearly dead. The other is their own Registeel. And we're down a shield. This is gonna be rough unless Zogan forgets to shield. Gonna go for the Focus Blast, saying, hey, look, if you don't shield, you're screwed. Obviously shields. Yeah, there are some comments about how this game has already taken 10 minutes. Yeah, very nice catch. Thank you for catching that.
Yeah, that might have done it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not quite enough because it's just going to get eaten up. And for the record, Uzo, this game has only taken about 4 minutes and 50 seconds, as evidenced by the fact that the timer just showed up. But this is kind of what happens when you have Cresselia and Greedent running around. They just take longer. Though, if you really want this experience in Great League, you can just play Chansey in Evolution Cup. So that's your option. All right, so that's game 1. That's a game 1 win. Yeah, Snorefest. Berno says some people would say longer is better. I would argue that it's not about how long it is, it's about how you use it. And these clips, I'm not using them very well, so they still suck. But we'll go into game 2. This one's a wild one, I think. You can see Regirock growing. It's a grower, not a shower. It's growing at 2 frames per second. We lead Shadow Dragonite that barely can float because its wings are barely flapping. Yeah, the fun of Chansey is directly proportional to how much you win. I do not win a lot with Chansey, ergo I do not have fun playing with Chansey. I don't win a lot against Chansey, ergo I don't have a lot of fun with Chansey. Much like how this clip is absolutely hideous.
Really
Warner has gotten up to a superpower and a half. People were spamming count moves in chat. I'm not even gonna bother with this, but Warner goes for this bait here.
I like it.
Wait, what just happened? 2 shields were gone. Were those shields there before?
Unclear.
This is actually amazing. I'm kind of enjoying slow-mo. All right, we lead Cresselia into... Yeah, Reggie outpaces D-Knight, so it's pretty safe. Definitely for sure. I'm guessing... I can't just download the clip and show it on a whim. Well, I mean, I guess I could, but it's a little bit hard to do it on the fly, you guys. You know, like it's a little bit tricky. The Pogo really version of Clue. I'm actually having fun. I'm having fun watching this, Keen. Are you having fun?
Yeah. I'm having. I'm only having fun if Zuo wins this. Then otherwise I'm not having fun.
It is like 2 clicks in OBS, dude. You don't understand. Like, if I open another browser tab, my entire stream might crash. So I'm not gonna do that. But this is hilarious. I'm having a great time.
Well, this is like a Dragon Ball Z moment where it's like really charging up.
I will tell you this right now. I will tell you this right now that Leo recorded game 3, so that one's a lot more watchable. We see that Moonblast debuff making a already slow matchup even slower. I think the Cresselia matchup like takes like 3 or 4 minutes or something like that. Oh, he got another debuff too. So we'll see how this goes. Samurott into Cresselia, no shields. Cresselia's up energy, down a debuff. And then here's this Regirock. Do we get there? No, this Regirock exited with a lot of energy, which if you were counting Keen, you would know, obviously.
I would clearly know, but I don't.
Yeah. And then we do not get to that Hydro Cannon. That's foreshadowing for later. But we see Warner finally take some time to decide on his Mon. I'm not even sure if that was him trying to decide on a Mon or lag, but gets this grass off. But the problem here is that we have Cresselia lined up on Dragonite, and so that's pretty much over the Cresselia can get to a Moonblast. And it's definitely going to be able to get to a Moonblast because we're giving it tons of farm here. So that's pretty rough for Warner. Bad lead. Don't know how you would have played it otherwise. But there we go. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Warner's game plan is, but Zokin's just going to calmly cycle cut down and then throw right here. And that's pretty much game over.
That'll do it.
Yeah. I think he was going to catch a grass knot on my 100 energy, I think. I mean, yeah. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way to win that, really. Though there have been 3 attack debuffs in this game. That's like a 12.5% chance or a 10% chance, one of those two. So very unlikely. Maki wants to be part of the stream again. He's literally paw 5ing me right now, but 50% chance? It is not 50% chance. Oh my god. All right, Luke. You're not doing any of my statistics for me. But Warner's down 2-0. Let's see if Warner can pull a game back. Game 3. Normal speed video. Warner leads Greedent into Cresselia. This is pretty good. This is pretty much where you want the Cresselia. Certainly don't want him to other 2 mons. One, because it's not that great of a matchup, and the other, because it would bore the crap out of me. The worst part about this Keen is that in the few seasons that I've hit Legend off of Ultra League, it's been on the back of Cresselia. It's just been on the back of a lot of time of Cresselia. I mean, it's fine when you're... Again, I think it's like the same chancy principle. When you're winning, it's fine. When you're not winning, it's not as fine. Yeah. Greedent's going for this crunch. And so Greedent is just thick enough with that stab move. Swaps on to Samurott. Very nice there. And so have we basically been seeing similar 3 mons, like, you know, Regirock mirrors, Cresselia mirrors? You know.
So,
I mean, I guess
so
like
we're trying to get...
Yeah.
Okay, getting a little body slam chip there. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, and Zogan saying smart body slam there to put me in, put him in grass knot range. So heads up by Warner there. Warner is gonna have to shield here. Good shield. Megahorn deals absolutely crap ton of damage. You know, Cresselia's been eating Megahorn since Escavalier has been born, but Samurott does quite a bit of damage there. Yep. And so gonna just commit to this farm down. It seems like. Question is, do you respect a Megahorn? Nope, not enough time for the Megahorn. Just gonna say, yeah, do your worst. It is indeed a Megahorn, though.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's all right.
Still farm down, get some.
Yeah. And so here's that Greedent. So I think this is a mirror with alignment on Warner's side. Wait, is this clip over? What the heck? Oh, there we go. I was like, what the heck just happened there? So Warner gets that early alignment, but, you know, I think the one thing that's kind of interesting, depending on how you view it in Ultra League, is that the games take so long that alignment is not as important. It's still obviously quite important, but you get a little bit more time to be able to maneuver your pieces. And, you know, as you saw there, a little chip damage does start flipping matchups left and right. So I think it's
defensive.
Exactly.
It's kind of like when they changed the switch timers to like 30 seconds or whatever it was, or for to test out for a little bit. Where,
but I think there's a difference there in that really promoted having the debuff nukes, whereas this kind of gameplay is a little bit more. I don't know if cerebral is the right word, but a little bit more like methodical in how you.
You really have to like know your damage ranges for things like chipping with a body slam to make sure it's in grass knot range. You know, it's a different kind of thought processing than like, oh, I know my shield scenarios, you know, because I'm gonna outpace it to this number of moves. Because in Ultra League Celestial, that number of moves is like 8 or 9 it takes to take it down. So like it doesn't make sense to think about it in the same way.
Definitely. And so here we see this Greedent Cresselia matchup, just like how we drew it up in the beginning. Cresselia takes down the Greedent with a grass knot. We are down to 1 shield, and the Samurott has quite a bit of work to do for it. Good timing there. I think he counted 5 cycle cuts before tossing this hydro cannon, trying his best not to eat a grass knot. And so this is where the game kind of goes crazy here. So this Greedent has a little bit of runway. Zogan opts to throw. We're not going to shield here. It's a body slam. And I think Warner here is just saying, I need to build up to 2 body slams or 2 hydro cannons. Has to shield this one, obviously. And let's see if Warner gets to it. 1, 2, 3. Excellent move timing there, just as the Bullet Seed resolves. And is this going to be enough? Is this going to be enough? 1 HP. Gets that Psycho Hydro Cannon off. And that's the game.
Now, would it have made any difference if Zuo didn't throw that body slam earlier? And, like, just bullet seeded?
That's hard. That's hard to tell. But that was 1 HP in a dream there. I think Warner afterwards basically told us, yeah, I have the rank 1, and you know that IVs matter until IVs matter or don't matter until they do.
I've heard that so many times. Like, yeah, I was battling Warner. I was gonna have the game, but he had the rank 1. Like, I've heard that more times than you'd think.
I think Warner, one of those original OGs, who really liked going for those rank 1s, and one of the few people that are still playing to this day who really prioritize ranks. I feel like a lot of PvPers is like, sub 500, or it powers up to 1460. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, the stars are split between people that
CMP,
you know,
CMP
make the time investments, and other people, yeah, we're just like, I'll win CMP.
Yeah. All right, so to set the stage, it is 6-all. We have won 2 bouts or 2 batches each. It is about as finely split as you can come up with. And in enters from scene right, Keenbart. Keen, how are you feeling? How are you feeling prior to this match? How are you feeling in terms of the Stonks versus Stars matchup in general? How are you feeling about your matchup specifically?
Yeah, well, in terms of Stonks versus Stars, yeah, I was nervous for this one, because I think we're hoping that at this point we'd be able to kind of claw a little bit more of a lead. You know, it's really important for us, you know, to try to win here, you know, against our crosstown rivals. And, you know, there's really a log jam in the Emerald standings right now. Like, every, you know, bout is really counting right now. So yeah, I was feeling some pressure here. I was trying out a couple new mons for me this week, the Tapu and the Pseudo. Speaking of 1460, you'll see if I run the top. Remember, but yeah, I'm thinking that I really wish I brought Tyrant, because I like how it looks into this, but I didn't. But I'm thinking, you know, my Frostlass. I like the look of the Frostlass. I really like the look of the Snorlax. Those two together, I feel like, are a great combo in Primeval. Pseudo is going to depend on whether it's Water Gun or Powder Snow Celio, so I think I'm going to hold off until I see that. Cradilly doesn't look great against a couple ices, against the Snorlax with superpower. So I think I'm probably going to roll with some combo of Dragonair, Snorlax, and Frostlass and just see if I can find some win cons with some farm downs, you know, with some, you know, maybe some catches. I don't know. It's gonna kind of come down to whoever can kind of make some sneaky plays here, I think.
Yeah. And so on the other side, I'll speak on behalf of Nuclear. Nuclear's gone 2-1 in his last 3 bouts. So the only stonk to basically have winning matches for all 3 of our previous bouts.
Wow,
so going up against our half season or mid season MVP, and we'll see how those games turn out. So maybe you can talk a little bit on your side about what you're thinking as these plays are being made.
Let's see.
Yeah. Keenbart wants to battle. Great.
Oh, wow, interesting, okay.
We lead this
Okay,
lantern
yeah,
into
this is not a great lead for me, so I'm gonna get out of here ASAP.
water gun.
Into what do I come into? Snorlax. Okay, Snorlax, very safe into this.
Hmm.
It's not gonna blow anything away here,
Yeah.
but
Nuke.
it's a pretty safe swap with that food on Nuke's side. Um, so it looks like Nuke's gonna kind of chip here. It
Yep.
depends. Okay, okay, for the Dragonair to kind of make this a safer matchup.
Hmm.
Um,
And also the
yeah, I like
Dragonair.
that.
Yeah, Dragonair making sense as a swap. It's not going to look too
Yeah.
good into the Frostlass, and your Frostlass is going to look very good into the Snorlax, so totally makes sense to swap there.
Yeah. So let's see here. I'm gonna get this body slam off. At this point, see, this is the kind of situation like I'm totally fine with this though, because
You get a
I
little
can come back
farm.
last last, get a little chip.
Yeah.
Um,
That's like what, three
so
powder
yeah.
snows? 3, 4 powder snows worth of energy right there.
Yeah, let's maybe two or
1,
three. Let's
2,
see.
3. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that now this Frostlass
Um,
2 shields.
yeah, okay. Now here I switch out because the timers were offset here. So
Hmm.
I knew I could get some dragon breaths in.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna throw a charge move. I'm just gonna keep dragon breathing until
The
Nuke's
Frostlass
timer
comes
is
in.
up. I know if there is a frost last in the back, I'll have some energy. I can outpace it to charge moves.
Yeah, so that decision to hop in immediately with a lantern kind of came somewhat poorly there because of that offset timer here. And now this Dragonair gets to do a lot more damage than it would normally. Nuke's gonna have to sink a shield here. And I guess just opting
Yeah, so
to
this is still
farm
gonna
off.
be really tough. Okay, yeah, this is still super tough because like, yeah, you're gonna yeah, you're at two moves already. So I've got to commit shields here. I mean, it's a good bait. Um, but yeah, I can't take a risk here. So here comes into, and now it's going to be my Frostlass versus the Lantern. But I'm
Hmm.
going to get some nice farm, I
Yes.
think. Yep, your switch timer's not up yet.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, and but your Lantern has a shield. This is like,
So in this situation here,
but
what are you throwing? You're throwing one Thunderbolt? Oh,
well, what
how?
is this? Yeah, the Shadow Ball comes through. I don't think it really matters. It's a water gun, lantern. So
Oh man.
I don't know what the right move there is, if it's going to be the Surf or the
Yeah,
Thunderbolt.
but Nuke just
Um,
opts to no call that Shadow Ball,
yeah,
and
I think maybe calling, like maybe thinking that I'm trying to bait there. I'm curious how that would have played out if he shielded that. I think I'd still outpace to the next move if I
mhm.
remember right. But it would have been really close.
Yeah, oof. Well, that just kind of flips the game in a hurry. So down 0 and 1, or I guess in your perspective, you're up 1-0. And Nuke is opting to mix things up quite a bit, leading this Cradily now with a Celio Frostlass backline. 2 Powder Snowers, ABB. Cradily runs itself into a Frostlass, like we mentioned earlier. Not
Yep.
exactly the best matchup for Frostlass, it seems
No,
like.
the shields up.
But
So
Nuke
right out
just,
into the CEO.
yeah.
I'm gonna stay into this. Like I don't really care that much about the charge moves. Even if you have Water Pulse, it's still gonna put Frost Last, like it's gonna have enough health to operate.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the Shadow Ball. Um, so what do I do here? I do have to be careful. I can't remember what I have in the back line, but like even with the winning matchup here, you got to make sure your Frostlass has enough health to deal with the Dragonite later, or Dragonair rather. So yeah, I get out to the Snorlax. I think that was probably my thought process. Um,
Yeah, well, the Snorlax, much like in Master League and Great League, serves as a pretty serviceable meat shield here. But
yeah, so I got it within Body Slam range. You can take out the Celio. Interesting. Okay, so you're going to come right back in with the Cradily. Snorlax is still locked here, so it's a little awkward.
yep.
Because I don't want to throw a superpower before this comes through, because I should be able to hang on here, but maybe not after a superpower.
Yeah, it looks like that would have
Yeah.
been just enough. So Nuke probably gonna at this point opt to Not gonna go for the shield, okay, but probably gonna be committed to farming down. Superpower deals quite a bit, swaps out instantly. Opts to get that energy on the Frostlass instead. All right.
Yeah. No, that's really tricky. Because if I remember right, I have Dragonite in the back. So I come in with Frostlass.
This
Okay, I try to take a
Frostlass,
shield here.
you get it?
Yeah, baited. Okay, now.
Nuke's getting a little bit greedy there. Ends up CMPing. So what does Nuke do?
Okay, yeah, that made a huge difference, that CMP, because now I'll just let this go. Oh, I know why. Because I think, no, Nuke wasn't greedy. Nuke was going right before the Shadow Ball, but I assumed that he'd do that, so I threw an Avalanche to CMP tie.
Gotcha. So
Yeah,
super high level plays on both sides. I
because the
mean,
chip would help.
yeah,
Even if you let it through, that would help with my Dragonair in the back being able to,
for sure.
Dragon Breath it down.
For what it's worth, I would have been chicken and just gone one before Avalanche. But again, hard to say, especially when you don't know what's in the back. So this Dragonair gets to just farm down. And so it's a
Yeah,
fast move
it's gonna
pressure
be
race.
super tight.
And it's just enough.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it on fast move pressure, but I think I
You're
can
gonna
make. I
win.
think I'm tails now. Yeah.
You're gonna win off that 1 HP damage off the nope. Oh, nice.
Yep.
Very nice. You got us back good for the Ultra League one. Oof. That was a very
Yeah, that was
closely
really fun.
contested game. And so now you're up 2-0, which is pretty good. Can you convert to 3-0?
Good.
So Nuke is gonna opt to play. We haven't seen the Tapu Fini yet, have we?
We have not.
All right. Dragonair leads.
So yeah, like I said, I never know what to do here. Depends what's in the back line. I think I'm gonna see who wins CMP,
Sure.
and it's Nuke. So I'm gonna let this through. Because it's not gonna kill. But I think Nuke makes a really good play here. I think he's going to do what I was thinking about doing, but before I think to do it, which is auto
Farmed it.
swap to the front class, get a couple powder snows in. Yep.
You see Nuke prior to that actual CMP. Right after he threw, he was tapping very hard on the Celio, trying to swap in on that. Um, I guess the downside of this is that if you have a or Snorlax in the back, then you start getting locked in against a Frost or into a Snorlax.
Yeah. Although, especially Frostlass up some moves here is super dangerous because, like, I think Frostlass wins the 0 against Snorlax. So I'm going to super power, which is a little bit dangerous here. Okay. And I catch the Avalanche on a Frostlass.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
I think
close to a GG there.
Nuke was tempted to throw there, I think, because my Snorlax was superpower debuffed.
And you get the CMP tie here.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So I think that's like the only like I was in a really bad situation. I think that
sure.
like I kind of had to take the risk that
Yeah.
Nuke would throw on alignment there.
And it paid off handsomely there. A very high level plays by Nuke, getting outwitted by the old Wily Fox Keen though. So Nuke throws his water pulse. You have to shield. Gonna say keep your Frostlass alive a little bit longer to throw out one more move.
Yeah, I'm in a tough position here because I just have the Snorlax in the back. So I need to try to take a shield here. It's like at this point, I'm thinking, this isn't my game because superpower isn't going to be enough. And Nuke probably just like does some chip here, probably waits to throw the next
Nope.
body slam is after a superpower, but he throws it here. And I'm thinking, okay, I've got to get up to body slam plus superpower to have a chance here, and I don't think it's going to happen for
Oh,
me.
Nuke
But
opts to
yeah,
swap out there, which gives you
yeah, and I think that
Precious
was the
Farm.
wrong play because now I can reach body slam superpower.
Nuke's on the body slam. Goes for one more powder snow. Yeah, so there's just a lot of little nitty gritty things, but
Really close.
all those things come down to Nuke's first sweep this cycle and not in the direction you'd want. So the score now is 6-9. Very nice for the stonks, for not the stonks, for the stars. And then we're gonna hop on over to Great League. So Great League, we have Ben Hollow Purple, which again is a well-known person in the Chicagoland community for PvP,
Yeah.
going up against Balk, the resident Great League maestro that the Stars have. The two teams could not be further apart from each one another. How about you talk about Balk's team, and then I'll go through Ben's team.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at Buck's team and you think, in comparison to Hello Purple's team that, it looks pretty meta, but actually this is a pretty spicy team for Bulk.
It
Throwing that
is.
jump up in there, I think the meta, restrictions are making him throw in at least one, thing that maybe you wouldn't typically expect from him, but
Mm-hmm.
in comparison to Hello Purple's team, it's extremely tame.
Yeah,
Um yeah, I'm really interested to see how these play out. That Gunfisk looks really good, I think, from Hollow Purple side. The Shadowvik, of course, is incredibly scary, and you have to think about how you're gonna use Swampert, if at all. Um, and the Scrafty looks dangerous, and then we're gonna have to see what Bulk decides to run on his Ninetales as well, because I think there's some decision points there.
definitely a very dark heavy or dark and ghost heavy team on Hollow Purple side. And like you said, that victory bow is an absolute menace against Swampert. But into double flyers might be a little bit trickier. And that A9 could possibly be on Powder Snow to get the victory bell, could possibly be on Charm to absolutely wreak havoc on Scrafty, or it could just be on whatever and get the Manda Buzz. So lots of options for this A9. But why don't we just see how these games play out? So we have this Cofagrigus into Ninetales. So we get a move reveal very early. Let's see what this Ninetale has. No. Oh, come on, Balk. That is not
Oh,
fair.
teasing.
Oh,
Okay.
that's not
That's a
fair.
jump bluff.
Instant into
Okay.
this jump bluff.
How
We'll
purple kind of has the
see.
same.
Yeah, gonna go for this Shadow Ball. I think you have to swap out this Cofagrigus at some point to handle the A9, but oh,
Mhm.
Ben opts to
And
stay
I
a little
think what
bit.
Bulk was trying to do here is he was trying to pull out the Gunfisk if there was one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was a little confused that it wasn't coming out and trying to think about what could be in the back then.
Yeah. Ben is devoting or spending a lot of this Cofagrigus on this jump bluff, which is a little tricky because again, this A9 is kind of a menace lurking in the back depending on what moveset it has. Baka's gonna shield, and then that in kind gets a shield back. Energy balls. Jump bluff with a new move. Fairy Wind is a new menace, I think. Getting just enough
Wow.
energy plus damage.
I'm impressed.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, I'm impressed by jump bluff.
Yeah,
Especially with Walrein less prevalent in this meta, I think we're going to see a
definitely.
lot of.
So Scoffragirgus is pretty chipped, but oh, we see the Powder Snow coming from Ninetales. That's going to make it quite awkward for the backline of Ben. I think maybe Ben expecting a Charmer and expecting this Shadow Victory Bell to clean up, but now this very healthy Ninetales is going to get to do quite a bit
Mm.
of damage. It looks like maybe the Shadow Victory Bell comes in and tries to chip as much damage as possible. Yep, that looks like the play. Um, Ninetales being one of those mons with, of course, Weather Ball, super spammy, Powder Snows. And so this is going to be quite tough. And then Mandibuzz into Skarmory, and this is pretty over. We see
Yeah,
Mandibuzz on Air
especially
Slash.
yeah. Which I guess makes sense for like the Obstagoon.
Yeah, I think that
And
was kind of the mentality there. Yep.
maybe, to have a little fast move pressure on the Ninetales. Yeah, I think that makes
And
sense.
hits the jump bluff.
Yep.
Yep. But this is not gonna end too well. Skarmory and Mandibuzz Air Slash Mirrors, just as exciting as Cresselia.
Yeah,
Psychic Band.
I don't know. I'm yearning for the days of Cresselia mirrors looking at these guys.
Both sides wondering why didn't they bring their G-Fisk. Both sides wondering if this is actually bring 8 band 2.
Now we're coming back out. Interesting.
Yep.
Trying to get the jump on this Victory Bell.
Gonna need to.
Okay. And that's fine. It's not able to reach the Weather Ball, but it forces the throw from the Victory Bell here.
Yep.
And now
And
this
then
Scarf
now
can
you
just
just farm down and then kill.
Yeah, this is farmery right here.
Yeah. Please be. This is gonna be a Sky attack. If I wanted to be a Brave Bird.
You're gonna like BC.
Yeah, bulk style. Vulcan style. What style? All right, I shouldn't be rooting for the demise of my teammate, but that is 1-0. So
if you're gonna lose, you gotta go out with style. Yeah.
So
to
put things in perspective, now the live score, not the score that is being displayed right now, the live score, it is going to be 6-10. So that is just one game away for defeat for the Stonks. So pretty much from here on out, Ben has to go 2-1, and our last player, Gundam, has to sweep. So pressure on us, but let's see how Ben reacts. Ben's going to go in with, I believe, Scrafty, Cofagrigus, and Mandibuzz. So a very, again, dark, ghost-heavy team. Scrafty runs into Swampert, so this is fine.
Wow, that's really well. Okay, I see. Okay, I was gonna say it's super weak to Ninetales, but Scrafty can just power up pup through. I think shielded.
Variant,
yeah, against the Powder Snow variant. So yeah.
And Cofagrigus can put in a shift against there, as we see, right? Instant swap. Yeah. So heads up play by Bulk, trying to chip away at the Scrafty, so you can't get into that situation you were just mentioning.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I think you wanted to see if he could, either chip away so it's more in Weather Ball range, or take a shield so that it's a lower shield situation. Yep. I think that's exactly what he was trying to do.
And so this Cofagrigus is gonna try to do its best on this A9. But now you're wondering what does Balk have in the back. So Balk has led Swampert. Dazzling Gleams and Ninetales. That's big damage right there. Jeez Louise. I don't think I very rarely see Dazzling Gleams hit, but when they do, they deal so much damage. Good shield there, recognizing that this Ninetales is probably very good.
Yep.
So opts to go for a foul play, looking for a little more damage now. We'll see if this deals enough. Not quite. Maybe going power up punch.
Put it all on Scrafty's shoulders, perhaps.
Dude, are you looking at Scrafty's arms? What shoulders? And ooh, we see the Skarmory as the third mod, and that's, I mean, we saw how that played out with the Mandibuzz. That's not going to be too good.
Right, but it can after this foul play chip, it could turn out a little bit different. Although there is still the okay, swapping out with a little power up punch to hopefully finish something off. We'll see if that comes into play. It's gonna lose CMP against the Swampert, but if that situation comes up,
swaps on the Swampert. I think the Swampert's just gonna get to Hydro Cannon.
Yeah. Okay.
So unfortunately here, that Skarmory is still quite healthy. So all you really need to do is handle this Mandibuzz, or not even handle it, just like deal enough damage to it to air slash down, and that's a pretty clean win condition for Bulk there.
Yeah, although, yeah, I mean, you almost want that rather than killing it, because
you don't want the farm.
What could be in this weird situation? Scrafty's one away from Foul play. If it can
Scraf
counter this one.
Scrafty's one away from
Scrappy's
dying.
is it?
Yeah, too much
I
shots
think
away
it
from dying.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
So it's a little rough.
yeah. Yeah. If it
All
had a
right,
teeny
so
more help.
effectively the Stars have locked up the bout, but like you mentioned, the standings are so tight, so every game win does matter for both the Stonks and for the Stars. So let's see how these last few games play out. So game 3, we have Gunfisk into Ninetales, so pretty much where you want to see. We see Ben bringing in a Prima as well, kind of mixing things up quite a bit. Opts to not shield, just a weather ball. Gonna deal an okay amount of damage, but not insane amounts. Trying not to get caught here. Throws on 9.
Yeah. Okay. Gets the CMP tie here.
Yep.
See if we'll get a shield. It depends what kind of range he wants this Gunfisk in for the back line.
Interesting. Opts to undercharge. Doesn't matter. Gets shielded.
That's a nice play.
Oh, here's the next one. So the question is, do you commit a shield back to this? No. Chooses to walk out with a shield. Up a shield. What do we do here?
Switch. Ooh, that Prima looks like it can do some damage.
It is a Waterfall Prima.
Interesting.
I guess to handle the G-Fisk.
Yeah. Okay.
And Skarmory.
Yeah. Okay. See that.
Pretty squishy. It's already taken maybe 30% of its health from just that. And now we run to the Skarmory. I think nice adjustment over on Ben's side, saying, "Hey, look, you know this Mandibuzz the last 2 games did not do it basically, and I'm gonna mix things up a little bit. Now you don't have a Mandibuzz locked on the Skarmory. You deal some pretty good damage. Swaps on the Cofagrigus, and oh no, 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 no,
yeah.
no.
Ooh, pretty much anything else in the back that would have been like, you know, a good play to have this Cofagrigus to just win a neutral matchup, up shields, but
Obstagoon is a, I mean, it's pretty good. Like, what's the last game? Scrafty, Cofagrigus, Mandibuzz? Like, that's 2 out of 3. You're like, I'm fine seeing those. And even the Scrafty, like, depending on the situation, like, you can have some nice farm down and just start chucking cross chops over at the Scrafty. So, but this is going to be rough. Yeah, nice adjustment from Bulk.
Yeah, I think maybe.
Sorry, go on.
Well, I think seeing all the Cofagrigus and then also wondering why the Gunfisk wasn't coming and thinking maybe it would come now. I think that was probably his thought process for like, there are 2 things that I could probably hit with this goon.
Definitely. Very heads up on Bulk's part. And pretty much, I think this is just going to be running away with the 3-0. So after having it carefully balanced at 6-all, the Stars are ripping off 3-0s after 3-0s, which are, I think, kind of one of the more busted scoring mechanisms of Factions. And like one that I personally do not like very much, but it does definitely make things excited.
Yeah. I mean, on the plus side, anything can happen. On the downside is that
anything
it can be really stressful to take those 0-3s.
Yes.
And sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. And it just feels pretty bad.
My personal soapbox is that I think it should be determined on the number of matches you win. With game wins being like a tiebreaker at the very, very end. But that's my personal soapbox. I'm not a fan of 3-0s and 0-3s and stuff like that. Like, I understand it's fun.
Comebacks.
I understand it's fun going like 1-2 5 times and going 3-0 2 times and winning, and I'm sure the Stars have been the beneficiaries of several of
We've
those
done that
situations.
twice. I don't think anyone else has done that at all in the at least in the top couple tiers that
Yeah.
I looked at.
But on the flip side, I'm always a consistent 2-1 or 1-2 battler, so it's a feel bad when you can't 3-0 or something like that. Burno says we keep it interesting. That is definitely an understatement, Burno. But you did not keep it interesting here. Stonks are down for now, not out. But we have one more battle to
We should
watch.
do more thinking for content.
Yeah, there's one more battle we can watch, and Burno says give the people a show, so we will. We'll give them a show of Gundam versus Burno. Burno, of course, is the captain of the Chicago Stars, and so we'll see how these games play out. And this is in Timeless, which I know Luke
Yeah,
liked this meta back when it was a thing. It was not a Timeless meta for me.
it's completely different though now because they don't have dragons in it.
Oh, okay.
We used to have dragons, but they took that out because Primeval was a dragon-focused meta. So it's a completely different meta. It's still, I think it looks pretty nice, but
All right, sure.
right. What do you think about 3 different field metas this cycle?
Yeah, I mean, this
And
is
then
probably
switching to the field for Ultra, but really the 3 different field metas took me by surprise.
this is definitely a good time to talk about it. Again, a little soapbox. I kind of liked it a bit more back when it was just one field meta. And this is more just from a team perspective. It seems like people were very much segregated when it comes to team building and
Yeah.
other stuff. Yeah, Bernal says bad take. Of course, full disclosure, I don't have to play it, so I understand why people might not like having just one meta. But at least from my perspective, it just seems like people are just kind of like, I really have no idea what's going on in your meta because stuff.
Yeah. I thought 2 was a good balance. Like I understand why they're trying to diversify it more because we've got the 9 bout cycles now. But 2 I thought was a good medium because you still have someone else doing your meta that you can team build with.
Definitely.
But right now the people in Timeless and Sorcerous just don't have that. So it's hard to it's hard to work as a team.
Yeah,
Which is
that's my personal
yeah.
gripe. And also, I will say this. I know Silph is really digging into their previous metas to kind of, come up with metas for fields. But after a certain point, I am a little bit concerned about them running out of decisions or options. You can see here that they made one new meta, Primeval, and then the other 2 they kind of tweaked old metas. And maybe the
Yeah.
old metas are different or have evolved enough for you to have a
Yeah,
completely new
they're
meta.
different enough with the new mons. Yeah, I would be personally happy with them following the pattern of 2 field metas. One is an old tweak meta, and one is a new one.
Yeah. Well, nevertheless, we'll see how Burno plays in Timeless against Gundam.
Yeah.
And so, is this loading? Please load. Here we are. Gundam playing on what we affectionately call the fridge, his iPad. So that's why the aspect ratio is completely wonked. But we lead Skuntank into Gavantula.
Yeah, this is an interesting match.
Yeah. I scrimped a little bit beforehand, and I really liked Gavantula from Burno's side. There is a few natural predators for the Gavantula, but other than that, it gets very, very nice pressure. And swaps out, catches this crunch. I didn't quite see on what. Did you see what?
I'm not sure. Maybe Lapras to soak it, I would
Lapras,
guess.
yeah.
Yep, there it is. Classic Lapras play.
Opts a swap into this Frenzy Plant.
Yeah, especially I mean, this is this is always an interesting matchup, especially if you time the ice shards right. This can be fine for Lapras, and kind of
And
depends on IP.
We see Burno get that entire ice shard sneak in. So up an ice shard.
What's he gonna do?
Gundam opts his shield here. Yeah.
It's just safe.
Probably has to let this one go.
Yeah, I would think. Yep.
Good timing there on Gundam's side. Gundam gets to undercharge this Frenzy Plant. No, charging just a little bit. Still knocks it out just the same. So even shields, Lapras is
good farm for Gelf. Yeah. nobody needs a
Yeah,
frenzy plant. Ooh,
that's 665. So that's really
down.
nice there.
Yep.
Frenzy plant
I think
taking that last shot.
that extra vine whip
Yep.
was clutch.
And this wish cache gonna wreak havoc on this spider.
Hey, could be an energy ball.
It could be. That's true.
Never know.
Into opposing wish or Swampert, which is not quite what I wanted to see. Gonna go straight into this blizzard. I think we just ate a lunch, so this is gonna be a little bit less powered up.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for the follow.
So I wonder if the play there was to
Duck out.
set that to up. Yeah. And we'll see if that makes a difference.
Okay, well, we get to shield here, so we're gonna have to shield here to be more precise.
Although if you duck out and get farmed down, well, no, Whiskash wasn't in range of a move. It could have still gotten off the blizzard.
Yeah. You also would have pressured on your charge move.
Yeah.
So you couldn't have gone for a straight farm down. So this kills the Swampert. Right. So this Galvantula is actually, I think, gonna just get there, right? Like it's gonna just deal just enough damage right here. Yeah.
Yep.
So I think you needed to swap out there, pressure the Swampert with the Skuntank, and then come back in. But as it stands, this Wish Cache goes down, and that's game one right there. Let me pause this. Yeah, so it's a little bit tricky. Kind of a little bit management there, getting that debuff and then throwing a blizzard maybe was just enough damage to really clean things up there. It's hard to tell. But let's go into game two. Burno rocking a Dendene hat. Very nice.
Yeah. I love the Lapras on Burno's side. And I'm really curious, like, I think the thought process was, he showed the Lap and the Swampert. Maybe that scares away the Ninetales. Or maybe he's not feeling that quite yet.
Yeah.
But the Venusaur looks really good, I think, from Gundam's side. Venusaur always looks so good.
Definitely.
And Skunk. I think Skunk looks just like amazing in this meta in general. I haven't played this, but that's the first thought I had. I was like, Skunk Tank.
Yeah. Well, it does not look good into this specific matchup.
Oh yeah, I spoke too soon. I should have seen the specific matchup.
All right, let's swap out immediately the Wish Cache. Nice safe swap into this Lapras, which is not as nice. Okay. You're gonna die by 1,000 Ice Shards, I guess. Looks like Burno gets that freebie Ice Shard in.
Right. But Skunk can pressure Swampert with charge moves. It can like farm this Lapras down, so this isn't the end of the world.
Good timing that time by Gundam. Nice adjustment there. Yeah, and this Wish Cache is gonna get to just spam tons of mud bombs, so it's not the end of the world. Probably gonna let this go. Probably. No, opts the shield. Gonna try to fight for switch here. Probably feeling that he doesn't want to get that Skuntank onto the Swampert. Wants to try to fight a little bit of switch.
If Burno had tried to like Skull Bash there in the Whiskash shielded it, like that could have been huge. That could have flipped it.
I was told I had to scrim with Ice Beam and Skull Bash. And well, to be fair, I was told I had to scrim with Ice Beam. And I led my Lapras into Lapras Beam. I was like, well, this is stupid. I have Ice Beam. Yeah, so opts to go down there, not willing to invest 2 shields to winning switch, opting to, just say, I'm going to build up energy on the Skuntank to give it
to farm down.
Skuntank's going to get quite a bit of energy, hopefully giving it some opportunity to tangle a little bit better against.
Yeah, but this is okay because, like, it's going to die. It was probably going to die. Oh, I don't know. Now it's in Hydro Cannon range. But that's okay. It's still got a ton of energy.
Yep. Probably throw immediately, yep. And then after this, get out of dodge, go into your Venusaur, hope that there is nothing too scary in the back. What's in the back?
Or even if it's Galvantula, it probably is Galvantula, I think. But now you're ahead
2
on energy.
3.
Can you go straight Sludge Bomb at this point?
Sludge Bomb. Shields. Gundam is gonna have to make a decision here. Opts to shield a lunge, yes. 2. Nice timing again by Gundam. Throwing this sludge bomb in. Let's see how much it deals. Already debuffed once to that lunge. 3. Gonna eat a lunge here.
Yeah. Now I wonder if these lunges. I think I was wondering this at the time. Like, if those lunges had come in earlier because they were over farmed by one, I wonder if you could have like held on
Yeah.
there to discharge down.
Hmm.
Maybe not because the Venusaur was close to a frenzy plant. I don't
Yeah.
know.
A little bit tricky, but Gundam pulls one back against that. The Venusaur, like you said
Yeah.
earlier, is indeed a menace against a lot of Bernal's team. And Gundam
Yep.
did well to get just enough resources off of Bernal to make that Venusaur get across the finish line there.
Yeah, you played that well. Putting it in a situation where you can get it into one shield and then get a little extra energy on your Venusaur is, yeah, that's giving you a good shot to win.
What about straight in the lead against a Lapras?
Yeah, interesting. I don't know. Maybe like Frenzy Plant and Dip is how I
Yep.
would probably play it.
Again, very excellent timing by Gundam here. Like, this matchup is very, very dependent on who times what when.
Okay, now maybe dip out to Whiscash, right?
Oh, he's opting to stay in.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So what are you going to do here? Opts a shield, respects a Skull Bash or an Ice Beam. Now going to
Okay.
dip out.
Gosh, I feel like it would have been nice to do that.
Oh,
But Bruno makes the hard call. I think Bruno was seeing that Whiscash was being used as a safe swap or like, kind of a
yeah,
third shield situation pretty often, and just made the hard call to put Shiftry in the back.
And on our end, we were wondering, like, how viable is bringing this Shiftry in? Because where it's good, it's very, very good. Where it's bad, it is absolutely gonna be miserable.
Mhm.
And so Birdo opting to make that decision there leaves that matchup with just enough energy to really harass the Skuntank. Not gonna kill it, obviously, but does quite a bit of damage. The Skuntank is committed to the full farm down there. And let's see what Gundam gets to do with this energy. So up a shield, or even shields, one apiece, but both Mons are pretty damaged. Let's see if the Skuntank can do a bit. So there, Gundam opts to immediately throw. Maybe he could have done one poison jab, but of course this Lapras is coming in with quite a bit of energy. So a little bit tricky. Yep.
Okay, it's still an interesting situation because the Venusaur, it's going to come down to, can the Venusaur survive the ice shards?
Well, it's going to survive the ice shards, but can it do anything with all this energy with that much HP? And it's a Galvantula. Gundam instantly throws this Sludge Bomb. One Sludge Bomb is not quite enough, I think. So that's full Volt Switch coming through there. And this is, that Venusaur just does not have enough HP there to come across the finish line. Yeah. That shield's just going to go down. And we end up losing that game, or that match, 2-1. And the overall score is a 7-14, which it was looking a lot closer prior to that double 3-0 on the star side, but at the very end we end up with that. And so that is it against Evanstonks versus Stars Part 4. The Stars emerge victorious, but pretty kind of neck and neck for those first 4 battles, huh, Keen?
Yeah, he kept us on our toes.
Definitely. I mean, the second half was a little bit more painful to watch from my end, but I'm sure you guys had a good time.
Yeah, always good to battle you guys, whether it's in factions or in local cups. It's really nice to have. I mean, how cool is it that we can have 2 teams that are primarily Chicago locals in the highest tier of NA, and it's still going strong. So we're definitely wishing you guys the best of luck for the rest of the cycle, and hopefully there are many more battles between our teams ahead.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I mean, I guess so. Who are you guys going up against this week?
That is a oh, I think we have the Cool Cats this week.
Okay, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
we have final boss, I believe. So
Okay.
gonna be kind
Yeah.
of interesting. I think
Um,
I was just looking at standings, and you're right. Like everything is completely jam packed in
oh
that.
yeah. Like what? Like four teams at 2-2, or maybe it's even five teams at
Yeah,
2-2.
it's a lot. I
All
think.
within like a couple game points of each other. It's
Mhm.
insane.
Yeah, and it's really tough week in and week out to bring your A game. And like again, Bruno saying he likes having as many fields as possible, but it is definitely hard to balance that many moving pieces and figure out not only like who's like what mons to bring, but like who's playing what, when,
Yeah.
where, why, how, all these
Yeah,
things.
it can be a battle of endurance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got Chapel jumping in at Master League just for shits and giggles after playing Fields. So it's definitely a wild rodeo over here in Silph Factions for the Emerald tier.
Yeah,
Um,
but I think all of those complexities make it the best format around. I mean, it's cool that we're getting to play Pokemon circuits, and had great times with Solo Silph as well. But I mean, all these components that we're talking about, I think makes factions really special, and our team, is really grateful for it, and yeah.
Definitely. All right. Before I forget, we should probably raid someone. So, do you or anybody in chat see someone we can raid so we can send them our people on their merry way? I always forget to do this because, like,
There's
after a stream.
King. King is the only one that I see right
Okay.
now.
We could raid King.
Wait, Smash? Smash? I'm not familiar with Smash King. They're doing a factions recap though. I don't know who that is.
Hmm. Yeah, anybody else in chat got any suggestions? Like I mentioned earlier, if I open another tab, my computer might explode. So I'm really trying my best not to do that.
Oh, wait, is Smash King on the ETMs? I thought the Shieldon were doing
I think they were
a
doing it
recap of
an
this already.
hour earlier than us. So
Yeah, but Smash King, I guess, is recapping it from their side. I don't know. That could be an option too.
okay, well, why don't we do King? Because to celebrate his recent wedding.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, what exactly is his handle? Because I don't.
His handle is
Is it King IV?
Ivy,
All
yes.
right, so let's do that.
IENG.
Their channel has follower or subscriber only chat. Lame. All right. Well, we're gonna raid there. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, Keen, for
Yeah,
coming to
entirely.
join this cast, and we'll see you maybe next week. I have a busy week, so we'll see what happens. But peace out, everybody, and raid. All right, and then stop streaming.